Rex had now kind of taking me underneath his wing and kind of me just talking to me about like what's life like at the next level, how should you go about it right now, so that way when you get to that level, it's no different. And down here, really just a connection was just a lot different. I feel like just bringing in all the new pieces that we had from different schools. And I mean, it was just fun all the way around. So I was happy with this offseason for real.
What does a year look like for you to be successful?
Yeah.
Describe that.
Yeah. Obviously for us, it's one of those deals where when we take care of our stuff game by game, like everything else at the end will look like what it needs to look like. So I got a lot of goals for me personally, and then us as a team got a lot of goals. And so it'll just look a certain way, and then I'm not going to shine too much on it right now, but when you see us doing some stuff at the end of the season, that's when you know it'll be what it's going to be.
Marcus, what's your favorite Dylan Gabriel story?
Favorite Dylan Gabriel story? I don't know. I don't really have one off the top of my head right now. That's what we kind of going. We'll probably come up with one during fall camp and have a good story, but as of right now, I don't have one off the top of my head.
What's he been like? Just kind of learning the offense and kind of assimilating himself into the team?
Yeah, early on it was a little bit of a rough point for him. Obviously, he's coming over from Oklahoma and stuff. I think his experience and just him playing in 20,000 college football games kind of sped up his learning curve. So it was a good rough patch. But I think once he got acclimated to the system, and I think we did a good job as guys who've been here for some time and kind of like letting him like. All the other intangibles, like, look, we got this, and you kind of just focus on understanding the playbook, the nuances, and we'll go from there. And so once we kind of had that learning curve, and it's been good from that.
How big have the team bonding retreats been in terms of building chemistry, especially within the O-line?
Yeah, no, I mean, as an O-line, naturally, we were already, like, real tight-knit. Now we kind of just do our thing. Like, you already know, like, whenever it's a bus of O-linemen, like, we're going to be, like, some of the funniest people on the bus. We're going to be one of the loudest groups. But I think it's all just an expression of, like, what the team is through and through. We just happen to be one of the focal points of it, and I think we just take that on. We understand the privilege that we have with pressure being put on us this season, and I think we just kind of just sit back and laugh about it because we know what it was like a year ago and people were having all these question marks about us. And so we just enjoy each other. We just enjoy each other's presence every day, and we kind of just go about it like that.
You kind of hit on something I wanted to ask you about. And just looking down at all the names here today, I kept starring offensive linemen who I wanted to talk to. Do you think the offensive line has the most personality out of any position group?
Absolutely. And I think it's not until you get embedded into like any offensive line room that you get to see that. But I know up here for sure, like we got 20,000 personalities. Like I know for one, we got Matt Bedford, we got me. I think everyone across in the O-line room has a level of like personality to them, and it just gels well. Like I don't even know how to explain it. Like it's like a bunch of comedians, and we all got great comedic timing. And so yeah, it's fun being in that room because at any point in time in a meeting, like somebody can crack a joke, somebody's out the way to get talked about. Like that's just the banner that we got in that room. But it's like no hard feelings, but that's just how we are. And it's fun to go in that room every day, and it's kind of lighthearted.
The Big Ten's known more for Smashmouth football. As an offensive lineman, how much happier does that make you?
That's great because I mean, for me, I grew up watching Big Ten football and trying to be a part of that culture and that notoriety of being Smashmouth football. But Oregon football has been Smashmouth football, so it's kind of just it goes hand in hand. So it's not going to be too much of a shock. I feel like.
Was your family excited about the move to the Big Ten?
Yeah.
Being from Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely. They were, obviously being from out there, like it's a lot harder to come to West Coast games and stuff like that. Them only making a few over the course of like 2 years, but obviously we got the Purdue game, we got the Washington game. I mean, not the Washington game, the Wisconsin. Yeah, here we go, Michigan. So like those are obviously a lot closer to home. So they were more than happy. They were just starring games and trying to figure out where they're gonna go. So that's gonna be fun to see them in the stands in some of these games.
Did you get to talk to Tom Cicero at all over the offseason?
Yeah, I talked to him. I think his birthday was on the 4th of July. I got to talk to him and kind of wish him a happy birthday. We talk time to time, and he's just happy to see me grow as a player, and I'm just happy to see him grow over at Crown Point over there with Buzz in Indiana. So, yeah, we talk a lot.
What do you think he'd say to you this year?
I don't know. Just keep being me. Like, he always was – they probably say some off-the-wall stuff, but that's Cicero. But for the most part, like, he would just continue to tell me to be me, just continue to grow, and just go out there and just have fun and go play my game and, the rest to handle it. He's always been preaching that message to me since day one. When I was younger, I really didn't understand it, but now I kind of listen to some of his old wisdom a lot more. So,
is there a game that sticks out on the schedule this year that you're super excited about?
Idaho. Just worry about that game, number one, and then after that, we'll go from there. But yeah, Idaho game is the game I'm looking forward to.
There's a couple of new pieces on this O-line. What what is sort of a good indication for you that you guys have that cohesion now?
We already had a little bit of cohesion last year. We're just building off of it more this year. We added some vet pieces. We got the 27-year-old veteran Matt Befford back there. So we got tons of experience in that room, and then these guys they're like sponges, so they do a great job of listening to us and understanding that we got that game day experience, we got that routine down to the pack, and so they kind of just watch us flow and synchronize, and so they kind of just come back and got a bunch of questions, but it's everything. That's how come we're one of the most tight-knit groups on this team, one of the funniest groups. Everything about our position is what we do on Saturday. So it's almost inevitable that we got to be locked in with each other. So
It kind of feels like Oregon's quietly become an old line powerhouse in college football. And last year really I felt like solidified it with all the question marks around the squad. Just how does it feel to know that you're kind of a part of something that's become a little bit bigger?
Yeah, when I first came to Oregon, it had its potential. You had a couple guys here and there, but like you said, most recent years it's been oh no, there's always been Oregon offensive lineman that's popping here, popping there, and to kind of be a part of that and just see that. It's kind of you kind of wear it with a badge of honor. Putting that as a standard of being okay, when you come here and you're Oregon offensive lineman, you have to. That's the standard you have to play at, and if not, good luck to you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody up back there strapping them sketches back there. Got all that Gosh.
You've been here through the passing of Spencer and now Kyrie.
Yeah.
What has it been like, as a player going through these conversations with your coaches, and what has their leadership meant to you guys during these times where you guys are sort of dealing with this?
Yeah, you obviously never want to lose one teammate, as I did in Spencer, and then you mess around and lose another one in Kyrie. It's kind of sad. The connection piece kind of gets reemphasized the most out of anything, because any moment, God forbid, someone can be taken out of your life. So when you get those moments like that, you just reemphasize, bro, just whoever you got in your life, just make sure you talk to them, say you love them, because you just never know when that next moment, they may be here one moment, they may not be here the next. So it just makes it more special, when you get to connect with guys like Nico Reed or, Gary Bryant, guys that are not in your position group. You just get to, reemphasize that and take those daily interactions for granted. You don't want to take those daily actions for granted, because you never know if it'll happen the next day. So
what have you seen from the true freshmen in terms of their growth and development from the start of spring camp to now here a couple days out from the start of fall?
Yeah, obviously when you're a true freshman, you kind of get thrown into everything. You just get dropped in a bucket of water. So they were shocked. They was just real shocked when they got here. But now they're kind of they understand how we flow and how we go about things, understand the standard. They're still young, so they have some bumps in the road about, got to do this, got to do that. But it don't take them too long to get back in line and understand, look, we do things a certain way up here, and you're gonna fall in line, and do how we do things up here. And it's not it's not a dictatorship. It's just holding everybody to the standard. That's just how we get down over here. And if you don't want to get down, it's a transfer portal that you could hop into if you feel that's not how you want to do it. But they've been real receptive to it, and they haven't shied away from it. So that's obviously good to see.
I know you're not in full pads and captain's practices, Marcus, but just what has Derek Harman brought to the interior of the D-line, and if you've gone against him without pads so far, just how big and powerful a man is this guy?
Yeah, real big and powerful. Kind of reminds me of Jordan Riley a couple years ago. That's kind of what I compared him to, just big, strong, powerful guy. This just kind of gives you a taste of what Big Ten D linemen are going to be like, his body stature and things of that nature. But he's a great leadership piece for that our D line, and helps elevate the standard of our D line too. Because not only you got Birch, you got Keon, you got Jamar Carwood, now you got him on the interior. So it kind of just helps solidify and brings some more experience to our D line, because they're a very young group. I'm pretty sure all the question marks are going to be how it were with us a year ago. But we all know how we did, and Coach Tony Tuyo is a hell of a coach, so we'll be okay.
Where'd the video game get you most accurate, and where'd they do you dirty?
My speed. They had me real bad on my speed. I think my speed was it wasn't where I wanted it to be. And so I feel like they could have upped me a little bit in the speed. I was at an 84. I feel like I could have been 87 at least, or something like that. My goodness gracious. But it's all good though, because like I said, some people I know that were just, didn't make it into the game. Their rating wasn't what they wanted it to be, so I'm grateful for my rating though.
Time for one more. Kind of a little bit of a silly question.
Yeah.
But last year, obviously, JPJ had the JPJ burger. Has any local establishment reached out to you about the Marcus Harper burger?
Nah, I don't even know if it would be a Marcus Harper burger. There had to be a platter. There had to be special something. I don't know. But that'd be more of I I don't know. But I probably will talk about it on my show, the Big Mark Show, if I could reach out to some local Eugene spots to give me a platter or something like that. 'Cause a burger's nice, but I think I need this variety to get Marcus Harper second. So, yeah. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Marcus.